Well, good day everyone. My name is Max and welcome back to playing Euro Truck Simulator 2. Cruising, Nordic Horizons, and Wonders of Winterland. Yeah, so more Winterland than Cruising the Nordics today, because that event is concluding today. So we wanna get everything done before it ends, of course. But yeah, other than that, St. Petersburg in Russia, not in Florida. Yeah, man, Russia DLC delayed indefinitely once the war ends, as he has said. Yeah, it always sucks when real life is catching up with gaming. Been for a couple of years now. This war is so pointless. Anyway, let's do more gaming. But first, let's see what the unique depots are. Snowy Peaks, I have to get something to Snowy Peaks. Next. External contracts. We are in... Yeah, well, we are in Bucharest still. And Drawn and Log and Stick is near. So, yeah. 2 Snowy Peaks. Lovely. So, got that figured out. And of course, can't earn an additional star, because that's already taken. Well, back in our wonderful Finnish story, C series. Just gotta find this frame rate is seriously. Gotta look and see if these performance issues persist on Windows. Might be just that the Linux version is having trouble, especially. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising at all, because NVIDIA drivers on Linux are complete arse. At least for gaming. And it isn't like on Windows, where NVIDIA makes different drivers for consumers or for businesses. It's all one driver. Of course, there are the Mesa drivers, which are free and open source, but I mean, this, I've said it in the last stream, but the Christmas present wrapping thing on the trailer front looks cheap. The knitting pattern, I have no idea. In the rear looks wonderful. Should have been the entire trailer like that. They should have made the entire trailer look like that. Anyway, world map. Let's see where the next portal is. Yeah, it looks like down here. Down the ring road. obviously the frame rate. Wow, the frame rate in this stream is even worse than on my computer. Damn. Well, it is what it is now. Maybe I'll find a way to improve performance. Maybe. That was quite a frame drop there. And there's the portal. Well, I don't think so. Makes me want to drive around Iceland in the Pro Mods map. What's written on the FPS drop? Oh. Scribbling. Around Christmas, and winter markets are generally allowed to be opened way before and after Christmas. There's apparently a legal difference. to go with the phone as a navigator. This time with the cabin because it takes up less space. Unfortunately, this lorry doesn't have a navigator integrated into the cabin, into the dashboard itself, so gotta get a split screen thingy. It's pretty dark. But almost there. Let's try not to crash. This old town. I can't see anything, unfortunately. There's a road cut. Lovely. It's a shame this map is only seasonal. It's really well made. Well, let's see. External contract. We want to go from Snowy Peaks to Ori. If we, that's 150 kilometers in distance. I'm not sure if Pori is part of the Nordics DLC, but I mean, yeah, Svolvær would definitely be in the Nordics DLC region, but good question. I think Pori is not Nordics, which is why it doesn't have any Winterland stars. But let's go to Finland anyway. Shall we? Or shouldn't we? Quite unfortunate if you ask me that all stars have been delivered. But let's go to Finland and delivering from the Christmas market to Glory. I can't talk anymore. Pretty much just started and I already can't talk anymore. All the way down into town to the Christmas market, pick up racing. Don't have anything. They're not towing anything, and yet it's having issues. Thought. I wonder what's back there. Road map. Let's see. Let's take some easy route out of here. Let's go here this time. minor annoyance. Finally managed to cause an accident in Winterland. Right. My problem. Forward towards the what's it called? Road trip, yes. Maybe we won't get buses in later. But I'm pretty sure we'll get get some fixing done. Gotta admit, ATS, up in ATS is quite as the one here was just ignoring the parts of the that haven't been updated in a decade. Slowly getting updated. Just unique, varying. Like most of the map in ATS is just different brown. Boring. It's different shades of brown. Like the map of Euro Truck Simulator is just very much more to offer. Also, when it comes to architecture, of course, there's so many different architectural styles in Europe. You can absolutely tell in ATS, it's everywhere is kind of the same. There are some historic buildings that have some variance to it, but it's still mostly the same. What's in ETS too, of course, the differences can be quite huge, depending on where you go. Finland, completely different place. Greece, of course. Russia, completely different from Spain. Finland, and yeah, it's not quite a white night, but it's midnight and the sun hasn't properly set, there's definitely twilight. So I'm not sure if this counts as a white night, but it's twilight. Definitely. It's cool. Hopefully we're gonna head further up north and see a polar summer night. There's no night at all. Not sure. We'll have to see. Yeah, yeah. Racing culture GR. No weather. Yes, at least in Winterland. I've seen your chat just now. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for chatting. One of my monitors isn't working, or at least the adapter isn't working, so I have a DVI to HDMI adapter for one. Don't seem to work anymore. These adapters have a terrible tendency to fail. Hopefully this is the monitor. But anyway, yeah. The line is so difficult with a low frame rate like that. And the lorry turned off again. It's only 3% damaged. Why is it randomly turning off? Weird. Maybe it's somewhat told I keep pressing accidentally. Maybe. And we are in some industrial estate near Pori. Yeah, this wasn't counting towards the Crusing Nordic Horizons event because Pori isn't part of the DLC area. Vasa is the next closest town. Map, let's say Salo. Lindakainen is also there. Not far away. Let's take something from Salo. The where this is taking us, maybe to Galibi or to Winterland again. Let's see. Puri to Abu. Go there. It's also pretty far away. Vasa. Definitely don't need to go to. The land is pretty far away, and we could. I would need to go all the way down to the port. Okay. There are a lot of goods to Arbo, but well, I guess we are going back to Winterland then. I'm not feeling like going. Then there's nothing from Zalo to anywhere in the. We already have covered Umea. But yeah. So Christmas fiber stuffing to Winterland. It is. Begin delivery. There's only one portal, and it is almost 150 meters away. Well, what can you do? Coming up. Map back there where we came from. The Christmas cosmetics on the trailer. Yeah, those are seasonal ones for the Christmas event currently ongoing. We are heading back to Winterland, which unfortunately is only a seasonal map. Will disappear day-night on the game. game for another year until it pops up. Next Christmas, hopefully. We're back on the motorway. Heading in the direction. But we are not going to Helsingfors. Do we go to Tammerfors? Don't want to make yesterday's mistake again by going in a completely different direction. Quite far away. Usually far away anyway. I will definitely not take another tour to Pori anytime soon. That's the middle of nowhere, not even a portal nearby. There are so many cities to choose from. Yeah, sure, that those roadworks just popped up out of nowhere in the last 2 hours. Very realistic. At the portal. analyzing your progress with World of Trucks. Well, and back into Winterland. Lovely. Sometimes I wish the entire map would be like this, with dynamic seasons and stuff like that. Theoretically possible. I think there's a mod kind of doing that, and they update the mod regularly to change seasons. But yeah, not by far not standard, and I'm not sure if this mod will work with a lot of trucks. Actually, even if it's just the base map. There you see the issues with snowy, icy roads, even with I have heavy duty tires equipped, so actually they should work better than the normal ones. Yeah, and it's very slippery. Missing the marker. And yet another delivery completed. Only 44 levels to go until I reach level 100 this game. And 4 deliveries to go to complete the Woven Wonders of Winterland event. So we are at Rudolph's, and we're gonna head to, not to Bucharest again, we're gonna head to Rhodos. We are going to Greece. Yay! Unless there is a more attractive delivery into one of the Nordic Horizon zones, but no, there isn't. There is not. So we are going to Rhodos. What the heck is that noise? There was a noise, I think outside. maybe fighter jets or something. Yeah, it sounded like fighter jets running on afterburners. It's crazy sometimes, the noise these make. So navigation, world map, we gotta find the closest portal, back there. Once again, the delivery pays 5,000 euros. I wonder how expensive a ferry ticket is. I didn't want it to get some rest. Damn. But it's day now at least. It's a cozy 29 degrees Celsius outside in the game. Yeah, welcome to Greece, and it's different shades of brown again. I'm gonna go back to Finland. I should have waited with sleeping until the ferry. That counts towards sleeping. Yeah, towards rest times. I think I have rest periods disabled anyway, so. Oh, great, I almost forgot how terrible the performance is around here. Wow, that is atrocious. Every update makes this game perform worse. At least here on Linux. Wait, it's a complete another slideshow. And again, yeah, okay, so holding down the left button for a little too long turns off the engine for some reason. And coincidentally, pressing the left button, or right button actually, toll station. Very interesting. And of course, pressing the right button activates and deactivates the right indicator. If I hold down the right button for just a little too long, I shut off the engine. That is really poor control layout. I think I'm using the standard ETS2 layout for my controller. That's on SES then. But anyway. Let's head down to the port of, I don't know, Athens? Are we in Athens? Athens region, Elefsina? Something? Wait, have I taken the wrong turn? Yes, I did. Of course. Well, here we are around Athens. Interesting. So, lovely. I've just taken the wrong turn. Could have went the other way. And caused an accident. It thankfully just it's really I'm tired. Day is pretty young. It's the big difference in weather. Well, one is Winterland and one is Greece in summer or late summer. Like it's 31 degrees Celsius. Okay. Spring, early autumn maybe. And back to slideshow. Now we are heading towards Piraeus. Covered with gardens. This is so typical for the Eastern Mediterranean for some reason, whether be it Greece or Egypt or wherever. These car covers. Rarely see those, if ever, in Germany. Last time I think I've streamed the Greece one as well, not sure, but last time I've went around this area in ETS2 it wasn't performing nearly as badly. Yeah, as I've said, with every update this game performs worse and worse. Driving like an absolute maniac. Do not drive like that in real life. And Piraeus. Obviously. Taking us longer than expected. Thought it was a short journey, but apparently it isn't. Going around Athens took quite some time. But alas, we're at the port. Tell me what to do. And we are going to Rhodes. 13 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, I guess game limitation. I would like to see some parts of the map, especially around cities, to be more busy, but as you can already see, the game is performing pretty poorly. Even without much traffic. Kilometers to go. They brought us right into the center. Probably look better by day. We arrived. I know that place very well. It seems to be so empty. Yes. I think I've responded to that already. External contract from Roders to Roders. Yes. Estimated land distance 65 kilometers. Come on, that didn't felt like 65 kilometers. No way. But it's the only way. Back to Winterland. So, well. Back to Piraeus. Should be day by then again. Yeah, that's a long ferry journey. Half a day. I love low frame rate. Wow, that was a full-on accident. I mean, it would have been my fault if it wasn't real life. Yeah, this frame rate really isn't doing me a favor either. We have to set our destination to closest portal. It is indeed. Back here again. Well. Yeah, 1 frame rate per second, lovely. Wow. going to Lamia or Larisa or whatever. But we are going to Winterland back. And hopefully performance will be better in Winterland. That is just one massive slideshow. I've seen GIFs with higher frame rates. Tesla driver. The swastika. Mail. They want email. Money we can help. Brand new Mercedes-Benz trucks for sale. No special transport route. Great. Press X to enter the portal. Or cross. And look, suddenly the frame rate is an absolute arse. Maybe it is on stream, I'm not sure, but I'm currently having a really decent frame rate again. This is complete, and the map looks decent around here too. So this is completely on whoever creates these maps. Maybe this frame rate just comes off as decent because it was so terrible beforehand. Oh, it was the Christmas market. So, going right into the wonderful little Christmas town. Right, from the Christmas market to Manchester. Do we? Yeah, Manchester. There's no, we are not going to Manchester. We are going to Steinshire. Seems. Yeah, we are going to Steinshire. Begin delivery. We're going to Norway, exploring the Nordic horizons here, see a bit more. Big bad. Sunday. This car had right of way, of course. It's the workshop. Second Nordic Horizons delivery. Amazing. Like I had the high beams on. That's not cool. yeah, no way. No way. Wait. Like in the real world. Yeah. Frame drops again. Not too surprising anymore. Again, I really have to figure out what's causing this, and hopefully I'll have it fixed by the next time. And we've just paid €4 in toll. What a lovely scenery. €10. Damn. Again. This country really demands toll for every couple of kilometers of road. full. This traffic AI is stupid. Look at that. That is cool. Oh, they absolutely made, obviously, they made gorgeous. Nordic Horizons, yes. It obviously is. City called we are going to Steinsja. That was and of course interesting bridges leading right into a tunnel. Well, where are we going? Bridge, tunnel, combo, like that. Yes, yeah. Interesting. It's a small town, more of a smaller town, I think. A lot of cool bridges in this map. Excellent, I digress. This was not an excellent performance. Okay, to Trondheim. That's not far away enough for the Nordic ones. At which company are we at currently? We are at Ragnar Logistics, and Zach in Tre is also around the corner. Door and Tree, I guess it means Zach and Tre. So 30 kilometers. Trondheim. Yeah, so the 200, almost 200 kilometers to the next portal, and Östersund would be 300 kilometers. No, I think we're gonna wrap up the Winter Wonderland event first. So we're gonna go with Christmas beverage to snowy peaks in Winterland. Almost 200 kilometers across the central Norwegian countryside. So going further up north. But yeah, I'm not going to Östersund. Östersund, probably, how the Swedes pronounce it. The final delivery will be the longest. The final challenge. Bringing Christmas beverages to a land very far away. So there's this Norwegian fairy tale, kind of adventure fairy tale. I don't know how to call it. I'm not even sure if it's a traditional story or if it's a modern one, but it's a hodgepodge of various different folk tales. So I guess it's a modern interpretation, kind of anyway they travel to lands really far away and encounter a lot of magical stuff on the way from Nordic folk tales. You know, I'll probably just describe the average modern interpretation of folklore. So Konst? No. There's also a company in the middle of nowhere. But damn, that performance is infuriating. This game should run on a potato. Here I am. I mean, it's a gaming laptop. It's not the newest. It's a 3080. One of this game doesn't have a damage model. That would be peak. Cargo. Still have a fair chance at getting an excellent rating out of this trip. Roundabout with a bunch of trees on it. Birches, to be precise. Looks very nice. Everything looks very nice here. 20 degrees Celsius, that's perfect weather. Like, dream weather. Dream landscape. Norway must be great, I've never been there. I'm not part of the EU, by the way. Unfortunately. Also very expensive. Go there, tourists as well as living there. But sceneries like these definitely would want to make me move there if I had the chance. So, not gonna lie. Norway seems very interesting. But they banned sales of internal combustion engine cars. If you buy a new car in Norway, it can only be an electric vehicle. There's no other way. It is very interesting, but they have excellent charging infrastructure. Has been like that for a decade now. Yeah, so EVs nowadays can go very far. So that makes sense. Oddly enough, Norway is an oil country. They have a lot of oil, and yet they get rid of oil-consuming vehicles. Really interesting. And unlike other oil countries, they also don't blow their oil money on stupid shit like building the tallest building in the world, or basically buying Ferraris and Lamborghinis just to throw them in the bin. That's what other oil countries do, and then they eventually disappear from the global stage and become a failed state. Norway is much smarter about that. I'm not gonna lie, I like that. A lot of places in Norway, especially further up north, have heated sidewalks and even heated roads, for example. So they don't even need to clear snow during winter. They just turn on the heating, and if the snow cleared like that, they also don't have to build the roads and stuff like that, which is really nice. And they have very good broadband internet. Honestly, from a German perspective, Norway looks like paradise. Of course, taxes are high, expenses are high because Norway is producing a lot of stuff made themselves. Yeah. Like Central and Northern Norway would be really interesting. Together. The problem is I don't like mountains. I hate mountains. I absolutely hate them. And that's why probably Finland would be a better option. Finland is not quite as prosperous as Norway. They are still doing very well. Finland really has the percolate. This would be amazing. As kilometer down there. All right, final stretch. Experiencing Winterland one last time. Man, that lorry is really struggling. That hill. Let's try not to crash in with those ice walls. Almost flipped over there. Thankfully it didn't. That would have been a terrible ending for the stream. I don't think I will reach level 66 this stream. Let's check if we can, like, if there's a good good thing back. 133 kilometers is not far enough. Fresh. Omzu. Be nice, but no can do. Just doesn't. 50 kilometers long. The distance is too short for those. But anyway, I think, yeah, I think I've had a good run. Almost messed up on the last meter there, but didn't after all. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you've had a good time. Stay tuned. Stay safe. Stay fly. Bye.